every time I pull up at the let out, it's a spectacle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Let Out. I want to start by introducing my co-host Sylvia, my other co-host Alicia, and our guest co-host Kim. We got a great show lined up for you today, as always, and I want to start out by go ahead and letting you know what the topics are. Today, we want to talk about if stepfathers have the right to discipline their stepchildren. The other topic we want to talk about is what do you do if you're no longer attracted to your mate? So, and then we'll get to the surprise topic if we can. I got a feeling that, again, as always, I always have that feeling that we might not even get to the surprise topic. But so let's without further ado, let's get it popping. Oh, I'm sorry, I want to introduce myself, Will, aka Bob. All right, so ladies, I'll start with the guest. We want to be a good host and start with the guest. Kim, let me know what you think about stepfathers disciplining the stepchildren. And I guess
I don't want to just it's his stepfather, step parents.
Right. I was just what I was about. Yeah. Okay. So
discipline to me, being that I'm a mother of a 16-year-old, is those tough conversations. I'm done with breaking nails and beating down babies. I'm done with it. It's over.
So you're abusive?
No, I'm not abusive.
Okay.
I'm
Just checking.
Mother. I don't play. Okay.
I got you.
So when it comes to discipline, I feel like I'm okay with my husband discipline my child because I know, for one, you care about him, you respect him, and you know you can't go too far, because if you go too far, then you got to deal with me. So it's all about that, the child. So that's my piece on it. Now, if you're dealing with you can't set no type of example for my child, and then you want to discipline him, baby, you can go on about your business. So it depends on the person that you're with, making sure y'all have that understanding and everybody is on the same page moving forward.
Okay. All right. Alicia, what are your thoughts?
I'm glad that we're talking to the mature me and not the immature me back in the day. Immature me was like, don't touch my motherfucking kids.
Oh.
The mature me now.
Don't touch my motherfucking kids.
No, I really think though, it has to be a conversation and a meeting of the mind of all the parents that's involved in it. Because when I went into it with a step parent situation, I never dealt with that before. My thing was, they got a daddy. As initially my attitude was. And so it was like, you take a step back.
Right.
I got this. And I also felt like, shit, don't yell at them, don't touch them, because they dated my corner here, whoop your ass.
Right.
So then no, we know my ex-husband. From back then when we were all immature. I think that had there been a conversation, but we would have had a meeting of the minds and talked, I think that there could have been an understanding between all of us as far as like what's acceptable discipline, what does my ex feel comfortable with, what do I feel comfortable with my ex-husband's new woman, wife, girlfriend at that time. Because that parent does need to be involved in the rearing and the discipline of the kids to make them feel like they are a part of the household, and it don't feel like it's your family plus them. Right. And I think that was the way that I made him feel at that time, because he couldn't really have a say-so in anything as it pertained to them, discipline, whether they right or they're wrong. So I do think that the parents now, as I've evolved, should have some say-so in how they're disciplined, should be able to discipline them as long as all parties involved are comfortable.
So that comfortability includes physical discipline. No or yes?
Depending on the other parent, it depends on the other parent's comfort level. If my ex-husband was not cool with him physically disciplining him, and I got boys now, so mine luckily were very easygoing growing up, and they still are. So there wasn't really necessarily a need for a strong physical discipline. But if they were, let's say, disrespectful to me or disrespectful to him, I'm having a hard time with them. And he'd been around since they were young, little boys. So if there was a clear understanding between my husband and my ex-husband, and he was comfortable and cool with it, then it should have been. And now in hindsight, it would have been okay. you just can't go with extremes, whether you're the parent or the step parent. Nobody needs to go with extremes in physical discipline. There still needs to be a certain level in line that no one crosses.
I got you. Okay. All right. Sylvia?
And keep in mind, we had been together for several years by the time this first instance happened. And it had been something that I had repeatedly talked to her about, repeatedly fussed to her about, had whooped her about. And I think I had come to the conclusion that she was accustomed to me. And what I was doing is she needed something different. And it literally probably was 3 really good leaks, and that was it. But it got her together. And like I said, we've been together for 13 years. Out of 13 years, once, maybe twice. I know for certain one. I'm not even sure about the second one. But out of all 3 of them was only one. And that was the one that was hell on wheels anyway. So, and then also, neither one of my kids' dad was active in their life either. So he was the male role model.
Right.
Yeah, that's a little bit easier on it.
Yeah. So, and even before he did, he asked, you know, is it okay? Do you
Can
mind?
I whip their ass?
Yeah, because he want to overstep his boundary. But he also
I got you.
he also knew I was frustrated. Everything that I was trying, it wasn't working. None of that. And I also knew that she had, just because you know how deep Stephen's voice is, so she already had a certain type of fear. Yeah, you know, it wasn't a bad fear, but you know, it's different between men and women. And so she already had that one little, you know, fear. And so, long as it's not, like you said, overboard, you just doing it because you're just abusive, or, you know, it's like, and it's an understanding.
So how do you ask to whoop her ass? I'm saying, hey, baby, you mind if I?
There's a conversation. No, there's a conversation that has to take place as far as what is my role in regards to parenting and discipline. It's not like, hey, can I beat the ass real quick for you?
No, I'm just saying, like, so you wouldn't say like they frustrate me. Hey, I'm gonna ask you before I even do it. I'm just asking you, can I twist the neck back?
For me, I made it clear when we moved in together that there was no disciplining my boy.
Oh, okay. So you made a pact, but it was taken care of. It wasn't discipline.
But I guess for me,
y'all didn't make that pact that he wasn't gonna take care of.
No, we didn't. We did not make that pact. But you know what? In my situation, it was just,
he can't take care of.
I told you that was my immaturity at that time.
I'm just saying. I'm not taking your kid to a baseball game if I can't hit him with the bat.
Oh my God! You
can't. You bring the police to you before I do, if that's the case.
I'm just saying, because I mean, my thing is, like, y'all, not saying y'all per se, because pretty much y'all's answer is, as a majority, is currently you're okay with it.
Currently,
but that currently,
at that time I
wasn't. For you to be honest with you, fuck currently, because back then you carried a fucked up way. The reason you're saying currently is because they're fucking grown. Now it's too late to whoop their ass. So what I'm saying is,
I think it made him feel isolated, like he had no say so in what was going on with kids that were being raised in his household. And I didn't see it like that. I saw it as they have a dad. I don't need you to be that role model. Not the role model, but I don't need you to play that role. As far
in
as
that case, I wouldn't be your role model. I wouldn't be your role model. I'll be your role model if you want. I'll be your role model if you want.
A role model was not the right word.
Y'all going into 2 different entities. One thing is you keep forgetting that these kids have both parents. So
I'm not forgetting that.
Okay, I'm able to co-parent. So just like my son has a dad, he has 2 parents that's going to provide for him. So I don't need for you to do anything for him outside of, you're there for me primarily. We're together, you're going to accept him, you're going to respect him, y'all going to coexist, and y'all going to have a relationship. So when it comes to the discipline portion of it, I can easily call his daddy, because for me, when my son turned 12, I wasn't breaking the moment nails whooping his ass.
So question for you.
Call his dad.
So question for you then. So it is okay for the new guy to still be in your good graces and say, raise your own fucking kid. I'm here for you. Oh, raise your own fucking kid. I'm here for you. He got both parents. So when I say I'm not doing shit for them, don't take it personal and don't take it as a harsh statement. Just take it as I'm a person that believes in that if I can't have a part in making sure that this person is raised the right way, then I'm not going to take a part in making sure this person is raised the right way.
So don't you take it personal when I demote your ass to an option.
Exactly. That's my point. That's one-sided. That's one-sided. That's what I'm saying. That's one-sided, and that's not considerate of the person's feelings, because
I mean, and I can agree with that, because since I was put in that position, like in hearing, like now if I go to him and ask him about something that's regards to my son or to rearing, it's like, oh, now you want my opinion.
Exactly.
Oh, now you want my input. You want me to go ahead and so
exactly.
It took a while for me to get to that point and get to that level. I wish I would have years ago, but now as advice for someone else that might be coming up in that situation, I definitely see it completely different.
But you become attached. So as a parent, regardless, as a stepfather, you become attached. And so when certain things happen, you want to react like you would normally react with your own. And in order to do that, it has to be a whole,
because you want them to him to treat them like they are his own. But it's like you can treat them like they're on these levels, but on this level, it's my child and it's his child, right? That's
what I'm saying. So then the other thing is, the other part is look at the other parent. And for me, since I'm a male, I'm gonna say the man. Man gets mad, don't put your fucking hands on my child. What kind of shit is that? Like, that's, for me, is it takes a village. And I'm part of that village. If I'm a part of that village, to make sure as a whole that we're gonna, now goes back to, I think it was you, Alicia, that said that, don't take it too far. You can kind of do what you need to do. I think Sylvia said it too, but you can do what you need to do, but just don't get a little bit too heavy-handed. Because then, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm gonna have you picking up some other shit, which is your shit, to get out. I get it. But that's the thing. You gotta take an understanding.
Like, don't touch my motherfucking child.
You know what I'm saying? You can't be doing that, like, you know what I'm saying? You motherfucker better not put their hands on mine. Like, that shit crazy to me. Like, it don't make sense to me. Like, for people to really be that one-sided in thinking that somebody is good enough to take care of your kid, but they ain't good enough to discipline your kid to the point where there's a certain level of respect. That's why a lot of times stepfathers and stepmothers don't get respect, is because they can't discipline the right way. And then the parent is intervening, saying, I got it and he got a dad, don't touch him, I got it. And then when that kid get to disrespecting both of y'all, this man or woman can't do shit, because you've taken away the empowerment for them to help you, help that child be what they need to be. That's just me. I mean, I'm not a step parent, but I can imagine if I were. And that's one of the reasons why, when I was younger, I vowed I would never. Go ahead.
But let me say too that even though, you may say, don't touch my child, you can't whoop my child or whatever, it does take away a level of respect. But also on the same token, even if you like, I'm sure with Alicia, where she, was in that situation and she was like, my boys have a dad, I don't need you this, whatever. But they also understood as well that you're not going to be disrespectful to him either.
Oh, of course.
So, no, I get what you're saying.
You have to have some say so, because it's I don't know, Sylvia.
I mean, again, it all kind of depends on the other parent. At that time where me and my ex-husband's relationship was, there was no way that he was going to allow another man to physically touch his kid.
It's crazy.
I understand that I understand, but there again, unfortunately, most of us need to stay with the people that we're gonna have kids with. Otherwise, you need to have a really great relationship with that person.
That's what
where y'all can co-parent effectively with step parents and all. We were young and immature, and unfortunately, we never sat down and had that conversation. All four of us never sat down and actually had a conversation about parenting and rearing until my son recently was 15. Like, it took that long for us all to kind of get on one accord and to be able to parent the way that we should have. And I'll say that I played a large portion in it also. I'll take my blame.
I can see. Low love.
What the fuck up?
Low love. But no, I'm gonna stick there. I just think that it is unfair It's unrealistic to everybody involved, especially the child and the stepfather or mother, because they don't get to have that bond. Sometimes that builds a bond. The bond that you have between a child and the times that you have to discipline them, whether that be a tight conversation, whether that be someone taking them to a park and saying, "Hey, I fuck you up." That all of those things play a part in the molding of that child. And so, to me, when you do that, you take away some of that bond that it takes to build between two people.
So I say for people who are going to date people with kids, when you're in the early part of the dating process, there needs to be a conversation about what part do I play in those kids' lives, and if both people are not on that same level, then it may not need to be together. It may need to stop right then and there.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it could. I mean, it could go on, and it could go Kim's way, and they can just they can just not touch the kid and just be like, "Oh, on some, what I'm saying, don't touch my kid," and you get the fucking dough. Like, hey, it is what it is, man. I don't know about that, but I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna be with your ass. If I can't discipline your kid, I can't buy him a hamburger. So,
but wait a minute. Kim said initially when she started talking, discipline don't necessarily mean has to be physical.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you like I told you, Stephen only whooped one.
But he got physical though.
What?
At least once.
Yeah, but they had to do one, but it took so much for you to even get to that one. The other two, it was just a simple talk. Hey,
I get that.
Whatever, you can't.
I get that.
So I mean, it don't just necessarily have to be the physical.
It doesn't, but the empowerment though, right? What about the empowerment? The thought that should it come to that, I can feel comfortable if it ever gets to that.
Feeling like you're the man of that household is what you mean?
Right. It's like if you give me that authority, my plan, of course, like with good intent, my plan is not to abuse it. But you give me that authority, now I got some working room. So now the kid, we can all agree that most time if you talk to a kid, they'll listen to what you say, and in certain conversations, they'll only listen and heed to what you're saying if they know there's something behind that conversation, if that makes sense. If there's a consequence behind that conversation, a possible consequence, other than that conversation, it goes a lot better. Now, sometimes you can just have a respect for that person, through the actions that they do. That's also true. You may not ever have to hit a kid, but it's almost impossible. But if that happens, you need to be able to say, I can do it. Like if it ever comes to that, especially with a man and a boy. I need to be able to hit you in your jaw.
No, I'm calling Child Protective Services on your ass. Let me
start immediately.
Well, for me, my son has an active father. However, I have a guy that I've been in a relationship with for a while.
Right.
Yes, I feel like a conversation will need to be had before you can put your hands on our child. And so let's just say.
I think it would depend on the age. I think it depends on the age of the. I'm agreeing with what she's saying. I think it also depends on the age of the child, or when that man is coming into that child's life, though.
Exactly. But my thing is, let's just say if Caleb cuts up or whatnot for whatever reason, and we reach out to his father, and he was like, well, I'm out of town. I trust whatever y'all decide to do. Go ahead and handle it. Okay, he got to go ahead. You get what I'm saying? But I'm not going to exclude his father when he has an active father.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Well, there's two different, like you said, there's two different scenarios. It's basically, it's one scenario where there isn't an active father. That's a little bit more easier when he isn't active. And a lot of times in the Black community, I don't know about the other communities, but the Black community, a lot of times what happens is the daddy is not completely out, but he's not in. Right. So he still wants to have that control of motherfucker better not put their hands on mine. Like, what? My man, you ain't doing nothing to raise this child, and you want to give me some type of rules and regulations when you ain't nowhere near the child 90% of the time. It's crazy. And then the woman like agreeing with that, but you want me to do everything for the child, but then when it comes to that, you telling me no. That's the part I'm talking. Like that's the part that kills me. You can't do that. That's just not fair.
Exit swiftly.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Active parents is different. If you got two active parents, to be honest with you, it may not even take that.
Right.
At all, because you got those active parents.
And it wouldn't. I think that for the part, like I said, with my boys, there was never a need for any physical discipline on his end, but I think that he just wanted to know that if it came to it,
right,
that it was okay. But I had that line drawn in the sand of no.
Yeah, that's not cool. But I'm saying, yeah, what you saying though, like that makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, it's like that's how he feels. I'm agreeing with the part about that's how he feels. He just want to know. Okay.
Wait a minute. Can I say that I told her that shit was stupid as hell when she came up with that shit years ago?
It is stupid.
But she ran with it.
Hey man, you know how she do. I got a couple questions, so we're gonna take about 5 minutes on each of these because we got 10 minutes. So the second question is, or the second topic is, what do we do when we're unattracted to the person that we're with? How do we handle that? And I'll start this time with Sylvia. Sylvia, like, I don't know. I've never experienced it.
I'm so attracted to my man.
Listen.
Go ahead.
Are we talking about like just in the physical sense, or are you? I'm unattracted because I don't like your ways or your things.
But shit, that's gonna leak into the physical. Come on, when I don't like your ways,
I don't like it.
Ain't nothing gonna get ready for you.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
I before this relationship, like marriage-wise, whatever, if I was just unattracted to you, then it ended. Like because we're not together. It's just if you become unattracted to me, then you're closer to me. I don't want to hear your name. I don't want to hear you speak. Like it just aggravates. Like I don't want you around.
Damn. Okay. I got it.
But like it like just in a marriage, you're married. Spouses fall in not in love with each other for whatever reason.
Right. But how does that work though? Like that's and I don't want to.
Because people have things that they may go through, so they may not be all of who you fell in love with at that particular time. Because they could be going through something, something going on. It's life. You're married. You got a family. Stuff happens. So then I tune into the. So why I fell in love with you now? Because we're, what I'm saying? Because we're married. It's
okay.
Like that's still here, and realize that okay, this is just something that's temporary because of the situation.
Because you're mad at him. Okay, which brings me to Alicia.
Could be.
What's up?
So let me know your take. What do you do? And we'll try to do like maybe a minute each because I do want to get this other.
All right. Well, time me.
I got you.
I'm looking at it from a different point of view as far as not necessarily like I'm mad at you. I'm looking at it from a physical standpoint. Like sometimes when you've been together with a person for so long and you start changing and looking different, you done had kids, life kind of takes over. Now you can start putting on weight. Yeah, your hair not done. You walk around here looking any kind of way, dressed any kind of way.
Mm.
That can definitely happen where you are no longer attracted or find your mate attractive. And I think when that starts to happen, you need to have a conversation. Like,
really?
And
how does that go? What kind of conversation?
You used to. I mean, when I look in the mirror, I know I put on since we've been here about 25 pounds. I need to get that shit off immediately. Motherfucker, look, man.
No, go ahead.
But I have though, with just different stresses and life and so forth. So it don't even take for him to say, "Hey, you can put on some weight." I see it for myself. I think we think unconditional love means you love me regardless of how I look and where I look like at this point. If it's something you can control and you don't like, what the fuck make you think he like the shit?
Right. That makes sense.
Have a conversation.
That makes sense. Kim?
I don't want to answer this one because I don't want to keep me a certain way, but if I'm not happy, I'm going to let you know. Okay? If I don't let you know, you get one warning shot with me, then it's the deuces. All right.
Kim said she ain't got time. She not for the premature.
understand that I love every aspect of me, the good and the bad, and I'm always trying to, grow in every possible way. So one thing I'm always do is stay on my shit when it comes to appearance and personality. That's just who I am,
Okay.
And
so you expect the other person to do the same?
Hey, now
in
look,
a nutshell.
I'm warning shot.
Okay.
What's you? After that, I'm gone.
Oh wow. Okay.
She ain't going no damn where.
She ain't going nowhere. So for the sake of time, I'll hold my opinion on that. I'll say it real quick. I'm saying the long version. No, I'm saying the long version.
You can do a part 2, but no, you need to go ahead and go into
I'm gonna do a long version. I'm gonna do a short version. Basically, I think that there should be. I know in my relationship, right? For me, in my relationship, I'm gonna keep it honest. I'm not gonna be like
rude.
Like it's not gonna have malice behind it. It's not gonna be like ill. You know what I mean? But more so, hey.
Until there's an argument.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's more because to be honest with you, I've told you this before. There's a shit your ass up. There's no nice way to say fuck you. So you know what I mean? And y'all know what I mean by that. It's like there's no nice way to tell somebody that they look a certain way. Regardless of how you tell it,
you've changed.
That person's gonna
you used to dress like this. You used to really take care of yourself.
They're still gonna take it how they gonna take it. They're gonna be like, oh, this motherfucker don't like me no more. Or
either you gonna take it or
you know what I'm saying?
Him
well, no, that's what I'm saying.
That's
what I'm saying. There's no nice way to do it. Like there's no nice way to me to say certain things. So what you have to do is just keep it adult and just say, hey, you know what? I know you should gain a couple pounds. Shit, I done gained a couple pounds. Let's get up. Right. Let's work out together. You see me eating better. Follow suit.
That sounds good.
Stay healthy.
That's not realistic.
It's realistic because it happens with me.
You're going to get cut.
It's realistic. No, it's realistic because I do it. Like if I'm eating a certain way, then naturally I'm going to tell my wife, hey, you probably need to start eating more vegetables, stop eating all this crap, blah, blah, blah. And then if I hear you complaining about your weight 1 billion times, yeah, you about to get this work. You about to get this work. You're not gonna keep. What you're gonna do is you're not gonna keep complaining and keep doing the shit that's causing the complaint. We're not doing that. Like so, for me,
you lead by example.
Facts. We're not finna do that. Like I'm not. It's if now if you want to go, if you keep bitching, then I'm gonna tell you, well, get up and work out or get up and go do something. Like. At some point, I'm gonna get tired of you complaining, and I'm gonna tell you, all right, look, man, you need to make something happen. I'm not gonna say it. It's not gonna get ugly until you start doing it, keep complaining, but still doing the same shit. But it's a way to tell people. You just keep straightforward. And I've built the relationship and the honesty, and that's what it takes. You have to build the honesty, and I have a way of doing it when it's in a facetious manner, but at the same time, right behind it is one of these. So after that, it's like, hey man, you done gained a little weight, ain't it? So I mean, hey, but we all do it.
Go ahead.
Hey man, we all do it. But that's the same thing. If she said like she might say, like if I'm not grooming, like if I'm letting myself go, and you start seeing hair come all out my ears and all of my nose, and I'm not grooming that shit. As you get older, especially as a man, that shit start popping out.
Right.
And you have to groom yourself. And me being the person I am, I have never been that type of person to just let myself go with like hairs and shit like that. So if she sees that, she'll be like, damn, you just gonna let the hair poke out like that? I'm be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be like, man, fuck you. And then I'm gonna go get this shit and start, you know what I'm saying? But it's a relationship that you build to be able to say that type of stuff. You just have to
get what you said.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the end of this episode. We're gonna start another one.
Quick.
It was because we spent a long time on the first topic. However, and plus, I think we started out talking and stuff too. So I say to the fans, this is the first episode. We'll do another episode on this one. Like, comment, subscribe. Again, the views are growing. We appreciate all the subscribers. Keep subscribing, and it's only gonna get better. We'll see you in just a second.
Every time I pull up at the let out, it's a spectacle.